Hello, welcome to my channel, Living Mosaic. My name is Dina, and I decided to start this channel because I discovered something quite amazing for me. And don't mind that train, I'm out here in the country just enjoying the late afternoon. So I found a discovery that to me was life-changing. I have always struggled with my weight ever since I was young, and so I lost weight, I've gained weight, I've done keto, I've gained weight. COVID happened, I gained my highest weight ever during COVID. I'm sure a lot of people can attest to that. And I did lose a good bit of weight just naturally. I don't even know how. It wasn't intentional, for sure. It wasn't something I don't think I was trying to do. Maybe towards the end, or recent end of time, that I was intentional to where I would cut back and notice how my body was feeling. So I wanted to be more of an intentional eater. However, I will say that as far back as I can remember, well, let me just go back to childhood. I'll tell you something here. Well, as a child, I remember going grocery shopping with my mom, and we'd pick things out, and please, can we get that? And but as soon as we got home, we wanted to open up different things from the bags to try to just have a taste of it. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but that's something that I did. And all throughout my life, I think one big excitement was planning things around food, like going out to eat, or excuse me, hanging out with people, and going out to dinner and talking and fellowshipping type of thing. So anyway, fast forward to my recent years, and the health issues began, mostly my A1C. And here's the funny not funny part, was I ignored it for years. My doctor wanted to put me on metformin, and I just am not a medication taker. I don't want to take it. If it's Tylenol or something basic. I mean, I have always been committed for the most part to my thyroid medicine. And I even did get off of that for a while, and that, I don't know, I just decided, okay, it's not doing what I want it to do. Let's get back on it, and got a decent dose. But I never wanted to be labeled as a diabetic. So, but I was just eating whatever I wanted without regard. So I can look back at my chart that, my doctor has for my A1C, and it goes back, and the best years of A1C for me was like 2017-18. That's when I was doing keto. And those numbers were good, but then they skyrocketed right after that with COVID. And then now they did kind of trickle down a little bit since all that. So, anyway, I just wasn't wanting to take the medication, so I ignored it. But the last blood work that I had done, which was last month in July, got results back, and the A1C was still, double digits. And I was just like, I need to do something about this. I'm waking up so exhausted and tired. I don't know what's going on here. So anyways, I did make an appointment to see my doctor. I actually, in the doctor's office where I go, I see the PAC, and she's my primary source there. And but I was having some irregular heartbeats, and so I went there to talk to her about that. And she knows how I feel about medication, so we've had this conversation before, and she's built a rapport with me, and to know, what I want, what I don't want. Anyways, we were talking about natural things like berberine, which I already take, not regularly, apple cider vinegar, things like that. And she even mentioned like another medication, Farxiga, instead of metformin. But I just still didn't want to do that. So anyways, she also mentioned to me that there is an injectable that really helps type 2 diabetes. And it also helps you lose weight. So that kind of perked my ears up. And I had heard the name before. And I wanted to know a little bit more about that. So what she did is she said, I can give you four sample pens, and they're injectable pens. And I was like, well, I trust you. I'll take it, So what I did was I took the 4 pens to sample, and she said, just let me know. We'll get insurance, to approve that. And I took it home and I just set it down. Mind you, these pens are supposed to be refrigerated also. Anyways, I'll tell you the name of it. Mounjaro. Okay. And so I just set it. I left the bag and everything right there because she had given me a bag with that and some pamphlets and other things. And I just set it down in my room, unrefrigerated, just didn't mess with it. Luckily, that was on a Friday, and I began doing research on Mounjaro right away. I learned that it was a GLP-1 type of medication that not only helped lower the sugar, but also helped with weight loss. So I was so hungry for information. I researched things before I would do them. So I was really hungry for the information. I mean, I looked at Reddit, I Googled, I watched tons of YouTube, and I haven't been able even since to get enough. Like, it's almost like now it's an obsession watching these YouTube videos and learning as much as I'm learning. And I'm like, wow, you know what? I want to tell my story. I want to be on this GLP-1 journey with others, and I want to share my life most genuinely and authentically that I can. And so today happens to be my injection day for my 4th 2.5 milligram injection of Mounjaro. And I do that here in a little bit. It's not quite 8 o'clock. It's a little after 6. So about 8 o'clock. But let me tell you, I don't want this video to be extremely long, but I do want to tell you, I gave you a little bit of backstory. I want to tell you that I'm so excited for this medication. Really excited because, well, let me get into that. So, anyways, rewind. I was doing all my research. So I was at the doctor on a Friday, and then I decided on Tuesday, I'm going to take this. I'm going to inject this. And I learned about the different injection sites, like the back of the arm and the stomach or the thigh. Okay. And so I just said, okay, I'm just going to take it in the stomach, and I hope it doesn't hurt, type of thing. And follow the instructions. I did everything. It was so easy. It was painless. It was wonderful. The only side effect I noticed was I had some loose stool. However, it could have been like a stomach bug some of my family was having. I don't know. So either or, it doesn't matter. I'll just say it was the medication because that's typical to the medication, but I just don't know for sure. And it didn't last that long. So what I did notice immediately by the next day for sure was no more did I think about food. Like, I wasn't thinking about or getting stressed about what am I going to make? What am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to have? Because I'm not really a big breakfast eater. Never have I been, even as a child. I'm just not a big breakfast eater. So what am I going to eat? Where should I go for lunch? I mean, I'm thinking ahead days here, and it's just, was my life, it was my life. And so that, which they call in the community, GLP-1 community, is food noise, is when you're always consumed with the thought of food and what it's going to be, where's it coming from, what are you going to do, and, I am also a believer. So I believe in God, I believe in the Bible, and the Word says not to worry about those things, right? I can't believe I spent my whole life worrying about those things, So what I also learned, besides the food noise going away, as my appetite was suppressed. I didn't even want to eat. I made myself eat meals at mealtime because I didn't want to cause myself any kind of, stress physically. So week one went pretty well. I think there was a little, maybe a headache here or there, but it went really well. Now, by the end of the week one, because this is basically going to be a month recap, or almost a month recap. By the end of week one, I was constipated, and that seems to be a thing. So then I was on this track to learn everything I could learn about not being constipated. So, I was eating my proteins, focusing on proteins, eating extremely healthy. Like, it was overnight that I did this, because I'm like, I'm not going to waste the hunger or the room in my stomach I feel on junk food. This is my logical mind saying, okay, if I'm going to eat, because I wasn't hungry, I'm going to make myself eat it. It's going to be good for me. Okay, that's one thing I decided right away. It's been amazing. And it was instantaneous. And it is great. I'm able to have the willpower that I never had before, So I've just been blown away. And that was the first week. So I learned about the fiber. I learned about, protein drinks. I like a clear protein as opposed to like the more milky kind of protein. I did buy one of those containers, and I'm going to share my haul at one point in another video, of the things that I bought that I feel that are good. And I'm not promoted. I don't, I'm not getting any money off any of these products. I just want to share my knowledge. Okay. I'm that kind of person. Just, I want to share. And I feel like so many people have shared their story and their information. I want to do the same thing. I'm really excited about it. So I was constipated by the beginning of week 2. My second injection site, though, on week 2, I did my left thigh, because I'm rotating right, left. Okay. So my left thigh, and the stomach did not hurt, but the thigh did hurt. And there was a bruise there. The stomach was not cold, because I can't remember if it had been sitting out or if I took it out. Because they say sometimes if you let it go a little more closer to room temp, it doesn't hurt. Don't know that yet. But the thigh was fresh out of the fridge. It was cold. And then I had some fatigue in week 2. One day I was just tired. I think it was a Saturday, so it didn't matter because I wasn't working. So I just spent the whole day just resting, and it was fine. It was nice. My body probably needed it. And what is also amazing is that I've been sleeping wonderful. I mean, no soda, that was something that I was already mindfully trying to get out of my life, right? But no soda. I've only had, I think, one seltzer carbonated drink since then. Trying to think. I used to be big into going and getting my daily drink, like big gulp type thing or whatever at Marathon or Speedway. And I would get like a sweet tea or a flavored tea or lemonade. That instantaneously stopped. I already had been on the electrolyte track, so I've had electrolytes laying around the house and little zero, true zero, and again, I'll show you that in my haul for my products that I buy, those kind of things. So I'm making that more of a thing, and like I said, the whole change has been just really instantaneous. It's been amazing for me. I really suggest, if you're looking into getting on a GLP-1, then do your research like I did. And that way you feel comfortable with the decisions that you're making. So, and then if you have, someone else, I had watched a video and they said, if you have your stuff in place ahead of time before you begin, then you can avoid, some things like constipation and stuff. So you can kind of just like strategize ahead of time and get the bull by the horn, so to speak. I like to say that a lot, by the way, to my kids. So, week 2, the fatigue, maybe headache, whatever. I had not weighed myself at all since I was at the doctor on that Friday before, and I weighed 274, something like that. And so I wasn't really focusing on that. I wasn't focusing on doing measurements. I wasn't focusing on anything like that. So, and I'm going to, after I do my injection later tonight, I'll share the weight and the measurements, after that. I'll just do a little short video with that information in it. So, or maybe I'll wait till the end of week 4. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. I'll have to decide on that. So anyways, week 3, I decided, by the way, my constipation got worked out. Taking fibers, I'm taking some other products, which I'll share later as to what and how frequently I take them. So anyways, week 3, I took it in the back of my right arm. Did not hurt. I really thought that one was going to hurt the most. It did not. So I was really happy with that. I didn't check to see if it made a bruise. Like in my mind, I was going to a couple times and then I totally forgot, so I don't even know. But yeah, that one worked fine. I did it myself. There was no issue. It's pretty easy. You just go like this and, pretty nice and easy. So it was good. And I don't really know of any major other type of side effects. A little bit of IBS here and there. Mostly in the first week, I'd say. A headache here and there throughout the 3 weeks. So anyways, and today begins my week 4 injection tonight when I get home and get that situated. But I've been doing amazing. I'm super excited about it. I'm so happy that I'm in this community of people who have found something to treat obesity. And it's actually what did somebody say it was? It's a metabolic dysfunction. And I believe that. Something just like if you had a high blood pressure and you have to take a high blood pressure medication. There's no difference. This is just another medication to treat a chronic disease. And obesity is a chronic disease. And it's funny because I never even, I could look at myself, I'm not blind, and say, oh yeah, I'm overweight. Whatever. I never wanted to say I was obese. I didn't like that word. And I never wanted to say I was diabetic. But those things have been what it is. And I'm also learning there are, people are saying you have overweight, you have obesity, type of thing. So that's kind of a way to say it. That's interesting. But it's nice because I'm not a labeler. I don't believe in labels. And that's probably why I fought the whole, type 2 diabetes thing for so long. So I'm like, I'm not diabetic. I don't have it, But it's true. This medication does work. And there's different ones I've learned. There's some that are even coming out that are very promising, and even in pill form for people struggling with type 2 diabetes. And I'm just really hopeful and excited. And to me, this means something, because on this journey of life, which I'm on, and I'm very content with my life, more than I ever have been. And I honestly can say that. And people who know me know that I say that, and I believe it to be true. And God has put me where He has put me. All the experiences I've had, good and bad, have made me the person I am. So I am a living mosaic. And I wanted to have something that was profound and meaningful for the title of my channel, because I believe I'm a living mosaic, but I believe you are a living mosaic, and you matter. You have purpose and value. So continue this journey with me. We might have serious topics. We might, be silly here and there. We can get to know each other, ask questions, comment. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give medical advice. But I have knowledge about wellness and having mental health, wholeness, and wellness. So those are kind of maybe some topics that I touch on here to there. And just continue with me if you like, and subscribe, like, and hit the bell so you can get notified, and see where this takes us. So this was my introductory video. I'm excited to share more with you. I have, like I said, my injection this evening, and I'm going to weigh. I'll talk about my scale. I'll talk about some little other gadgets, and just the things that I'm doing and I'm learning about this new discovery called Mounjaro. So hang with me, and let's see where it goes, and get out there and do research, learn some stuff, and discover yourself. And again, we're all living mosaics, okay? So I hope to see you on the next video, and talk to you later. Bye.